Come on, let's go live. Hey, you. Come on, sit down. Sitting at the Grown-Ups Table. I'm your host, Jesse Pimpinella. And as always, my partner in crime, right down below,
John Jacobs, because Jesse started the show before I was ready.
Sorry, my bad.
You were late.
Happy Wednesday to everybody. We got two amazing guests that are going to be on today with us. We have David and Darth. Thank you two for joining us so much. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
I'm excited to talk to both of you. Just because both of you, like, conversationally, it's different when we talk about comic books. I mean, because number one, Darth, you're my movie guy whose opinion, and we got opinions going. I heard that you and John have specific opinions on certain movies, and I always love when you two go head to head, and we will see that today. David, I'm just calling you Cage from now on. That's all I'm going to do.
That's fun. I mean,
you got the chain. Got the
chain, bullet hole T-shirt. Yeah, I did that.
It's so cool, man. I can't wait till that show comes back into the MCU. Am I right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Wasn't that the dude? Now, tell me if you remember this, because I remember this, and I remember going ape shit, screaming at the wall. Do you remember when Netflix would crash when that show would go on the air each season?
Oh yeah, absolutely. My wife and I will watch it. The first day it dropped every time, well, both seasons, and we always got to episode 3, and it's like, what do you mean it's not playing? What? No, I need to stay up all night and marathon this. What do you mean it's not playing?
Dude, the first time it crashed for me, I don't know how I made it this far. I made it past where the villain you thought was the main villain in the first season was I don't know why I'm talking in spoilers. I mean, people should have watched it by now.
Yeah, it's 6 years old now. It's fine.
Yeah,
we're good.
I was just like, at that point, I'm just like, what's going on? How's the show going to continue? And the show, and I think we'll talk about this with the difference between the MCU TV shows versus the Netflix MCU TV shows. And I want to say this real fast. I think when it came to show quality, I think the Netflix MCU shows were better because they focused on their character and not so much setting everything up. Yeah. Like, I felt like I watched a Luke Cage show. I felt like I watched a Daredevil show. I wasn't they weren't trying to set up 9 different things that we're going to see in a movie. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, to go into what we're talking about a bit today, that's what I think. And I won't say I've loved everything from Phase 4, but I've liked everything as a comic fan. But with Moon Knight, it was a standalone show that was connected to the greater MCU, but there was no forced connection to the greater MCU. You knew it took place in that world, but it wasn't like, oh, Doctor Strange is showing up in this show, or Wanda showing up in this show, or Loki's in. It was like, hey, we got the show, it did its thing, and now we want to see where this character is going to go next.
Kind of like how She-Hulk, I think, was ruined by everyone wanting Daredevil. Everyone was like, when's Daredevil showing? Where's Daredevil? Where's Daredevil? Where's Daredevil?
Yeah, I liked Daredevil. Daredevil, Jesus Christ. I liked She-Hulk, but yeah, you're absolutely right. That weekly fan berating of, you said Daredevil was in the show. Where's Daredevil? And it's like there were guys literally sitting and watching. I was saying this to John earlier. There were guys literally sitting and watching the show weekly just to bitch about it. Because
where's Daredevil?
And it's like he's getting his own show. Just wait a year and watch that instead.
You told me Daredevil is going to be in the show. I want Daredevil. I want it now.
Yeah,
Daredevil.
We can talk about that ketchup and mustard costume when we get to it later.
There's nothing wrong with that costume.
Yeah, there is a lot wrong with that
costume. Darth, I got your back. I liked it too.
I love the costume.
It was from the comic book. I mean, I do.
Look, I get it. It doesn't mean we have to do it, okay?
It looked awesome. I'm sorry. Plus, it's California. He wanted to be all bright and colorful. That's California digs.
I love it. Man, best answer.
They did a PR thing. Look, the red is a little bit violent, and we need something a little brighter. Because this is Disney.
He showed his Lakers love.
He's doing his Lakers.
Yellow.
I think Nicolas Cage Superman Lives costume was better than Daredevil's and She-Hulk, but anyway, shots fired.
Now cosplay a cosplay expert, in my opinion, because I've seen a lot of your great work.
Oh, yes.
What's your
I mean,
thoughts
look, he's
on
got
that?
the chains on right now, man. It's beautiful.
Bulletproof. What are your thoughts on John's comment saying that?
I love how we're doing commentary on my comment about how I didn't like
First off, fuck. Oh no, I'm kidding.
Sorry.
No, but I like the costume because it was comic accurate. I do like that they did that with Phase 4 to where we got a lot more of the comic accurate suits for a lot of the characters.
Yeah.
And to give us that comic accurate look for Daredevil without it being like yellow and red spandex, I think was pretty dope. Like, could it have been better? Of course, but like, we're gonna nitpick about everything they do. So I say, like, you know, they did the shit. We got it. We didn't have to get it. We could have got the damn Ben Affleck Daredevil costume, and we didn't. So
Yeah, I didn't hate that either. So
I didn't hate that
but you
one
hate
either.
red and yellow. What the fuck, bro?
It's red. He's Daredevil, man. It's fucking red. Okay, like pick a color.
He was red and yellow first, John. I have the first appearance of the red suit. It's
I-
Daredevil
He was red,
7.
yellow. He was,
I
the
understand.
black and red. He was red. He's been multiple different suits.
Black and silver.
You just know
Oh, I
him.
forgot about the black and silver.
The
Currently, like a
90s
blood
armored
red
look
with a
that every
hood.
superhero went through.
Yeah.
I just maybe it's they didn't use the proper yellow shade. I don't know. It looked more like gold mustard to me.
That's kind of, I will give you that. The yellow shade was a little off, but like the suit itself, the design was really good.
The suit was cool. I've always liked the Charlie Cox suit. I'm not ripping the suit. I'm strictly ripping the paint. Okay. That's it.
So real quick, Anthony just messaged us. She-Hulk is hot.
Okay,
Now,
so
Anthony, would you be like the one guy who only dates her if she's She-Hulk, or
Oh yeah, there, Anthony. Be careful how you answer this question.
careful?
You're on live global TV here, buddy.
You're on-
Be careful.
This is going on Roku Monday, so you
Yep.
better answer that right.
Be careful. Tread carefully, my
So
friend.
let's talk about the one thing with So what did you guys think of She-Hulk? Let me ask you that. That is one of our first
So,
topics
That's a
we
really
had
start
for
off with.
tonight.
Okay.
So,
Who
I mean,
wants to go
we
first?
kind of went into it with the Daredevil. We kind of flew into it.
all right, so I'm gonna be that guy that's like, I liked it.
Me too.
I enjoyed it. Like I was saying, it bothers me that people would watch it just to shit on it. Like, stop watching it. Like, I
True.
understand the
Agreed.
quirks
Agreed.
about it. I understand, especially the finale. I like the finale. I understood what they were doing, but like to do that because you were like, we're gonna stick it to the trolls was cool, but on the same note, it took away from the story because that was the last episode.
Yeah, agreed. I couldn't have
Yeah.
said it better myself.
Like, I do like the fact that they're like, no, the Hulk powers are not spoilers, by the way, for anybody that hasn't finished it yet. You should have already, not my fault.
Like several
Why are you
months
watching the
ago.
show? You know what I mean?
Right. But like the fact that they're like, no, we're not going to demonize the Hulk power. We're not going to make the Hulk power the bad guy. So they took it away from the troll, the incel bro, which was great. I was
Incel,
like,
bro. I hated that
bro.
guy. He was so annoying, man.
you're supposed to. And you know what? I think what kind of bothers me about She-Hulk is, whoa, my mic's falling. Hold on. What kind of bothers me about She-Hulk is, you know, we got the announcement for Captain America 4 during She-Hulk, and they announced that Leader was going to be in Captain America 4, and the way She-Hulk was going made it seem like, hey, Leader's the guy behind
Yes.
the intelligentsia,
Right.
and we're going
Yes.
to get the Leader. Instead, we get this random ass boy.
Yes.
And then I got the biggest complaint I have about the show is when he said he bought the Wakandan spear and he did the Wakanda Forever salute, and Adora Milaje didn't show up and kick his fucking chest in.
Dude, yeah, right, exactly, man. It would have been great if she would have popped through like a Wong portal, just fucking hit him in the front, jump back in the portal, gone.
It didn't matter who it was. It could have been some random. It didn't have to be a Okoye.
Yeah, yeah.
Literally could have been anybody. You know, it would have made it better if it was the Queen. Like if Queen Ramonda just popped through a
Oh,
portal,
yeah,
punched him in the
dude,
face,
absolutely.
then fucking left. That would have been the way to do it.
Yeah, I would have. That would have been great. But like that character. But that's the thing. But it was so great about She-Hulk. It was such a great sitcom, and that guy played such a good heel. He just
Yeah.
played such a good character to hate.
He did.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that this show, I guess, was a peak issue that everybody was noticing was
here we
the
go.
CGI. And the CGI has kind of been an issue throughout the whole entire MCU. And a lot of times they're saying, well, with She-Hulk, they didn't expect to make a CGI character have as much emotions as her, because with Thanos, they were like, he was either like, pissed off and angry, or he was just kind of like just brooding. So
with
they only had
like chin hanging down.
Yeah, the ball chin. Yeah, the ball chin. but what was your guys' thoughts either on the She-Hulk CGI or everything else going on?
So my thoughts were, was it better than the Scorpion King in The Mummy Returns?
I always give it.
As long as it's better than that, I don't give a fuck.
Real quick, Darth, let's pause. I just have to say, because you brought up Scorpion King, I think it's hilarious that the production team blames The Rock for that. They're like, oh, it wasn't our fault. He didn't show up to set in time, so we couldn't map him properly. I'm like, no, bro. Look at that CG. That wasn't his fault that he didn't show up. Like, stop trying to blame him.
The Rock part was horrible, but the Scorpion part around The Rock was also horrible. So,
that's what I'm saying. Don't blame The Rock.
A generic head.
The team just sucked. Like, that's
you had a generic torso and head, and the rest of the Scorpion was the problem. It's the whole thing.
Yeah.
But again, getting back to She-Hulk, as long as it was better than the Scorpion King, I don't care. The story was fun.
Yeah.
And I took it as it's a sitcom. It's a TV sitcom.
Yes.
And TV sitcoms don't have the budget as major motion pictures. Yes, I know Disney has billions of dollars, but I feel they purposely downgraded the CGI to say that it's a sitcom, to show that this is set in a TV universe type of thing. It's a TV show. You're not going to have the great CGI like you did in Endgame and all those other things.
I think it's a combination of that and honestly, as much as we love these movies, we love these shows, Disney is working the hell out of these VFX artists.
Oh, yes, they are.
And a lot of these guys are pulling triple and quad shifts to get this stuff banged out. I mean, I even heard a rumor, not to break from Marvel, but it's still Disney, that one of the CGI artists on Book of Boba Fett was in the Ukraine when the war started, and they still expected him to send the assets that he was working on.
Yeah, what? I'm
you know what? I could totally see Disney doing that, and I'm not even shitting on them as a company as a whole, but you can just tell we're at a point now to where they're doing so many of these projects that these people are working themselves ragged. So I mean, I kind of get it, and I agree with Darth too. It was also the point that the story took precedence over the way She-Hulk was going to look.
Yeah. I also want to conspiracy theory something here. So the bad guys in She-Hulk were the fanboys, correct? We can say that.
Yeah.
So why don't you start up the negative talk about it by showing shitty CGI, knowing that the fanboys are going to shit on it, which brings up even more hate for it, which makes the end of the story, that final scene, that final episode, more, because you've brought so much hate towards this TV show, and then they show all of this hate, and that it's the fanboys that are the bad guys. So it could have been 100% on purpose.
Especially because the CG from the trailers compared to the show, the CG in the show was much better than what we got in those early trailers. I mean, I'm gonna just say it. I don't know about y'all, but everything about a 9-foot green woman twerking with Megan Thee Stallion made me incredibly happy.
Yeah.
so anybody that had beef with that, you need to take a long introspective look at yourself, because kick me in the chest, please.
I didn't really care for it, but I didn't get.
I was not a fan of it. I know it wasn't for me.
Yeah,
I was not the target audience.
It was absolutely for me.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, David. That's all that matters.
So Anthony says he liked the show overall. Michael said that he liked it except for the breaking the fourth wall aspect of it. I mean, you
that's
couldn't
the
get away
comic
from
character,
because
though.
it's in the comics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a scene in the comics where I think if you open the first page, it's her jump roping naked, blaming the comic book writers like, well, our sales are down. Like, it's just something ridiculous. And obviously the rope is spinning, so it's blurred out. But
I argued with the kid because he told me that he didn't like the fourth wall breaks because they stole it from another character. And I was like, She-Hulk was doing it first.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I know what you're saying. You think that Deadpool did it first. He didn't. She-Hulk was around before Wade. She-Hulk was breaking the fourth wall before. Wade was a serious character when he was introduced. They didn't do the comical shit till years later.
Yep.
She-Hulk started breaking the fourth wall first, and she did a good job of it, and that's why they put it in the show. I kind of dig it. Do I think if inevitably they do like an Avengers movie with her in it or like an A-Force movie with her in it, she needs to stop in the middle of a battle and go, oh, shit, what am I doing? No, absolutely not.
I think doing it once to show that she still does it would be great, but use it once. Use it sparingly.
Yeah, maybe something in a less serious, like if they're battling Kang, don't have her break the fourth wall.
Right.
Like do it early on in the movie. Do it earlier on. Like, all right, look, this is gonna be the only fourth wall break because this is an Avengers movie, and I gotta stay focused. And then just go right back into the story. Yeah, that would be hilarious. Something to that matter.
Right. Even if it's something small, like she looks at the camera, like she meets Cap and like Bucky and like the other Avengers, and she goes, "Oh my God," or like looks at the. That's fine, but like we don't need that throughout the entirety of a big serious movie.
Yes,
agreed.
Or if Daredevil's in it and they're meeting everybody, and Daredevil says something good, she goes back, that's my boyfriend.
Yeah,
and then goes back.
Yeah, now another issue with the VFX again we were talking about is this series. I think out of all the other phases, probably had the most content hours, no questions, because this had the most projects out of all the phases. But also, you got to look at like one project wasn't just a 2-hour movie; it was 8 hours, it was 10 hours, it was 6 hours. So it evolved a lot. So do you think? So do you guys feel that? When watching this, did you feel that this phase was very bloated? Like you felt like you were doing a bit of homework at times, trying to keep up with the shows?
No. I enjoyed the fact that I was getting new Marvel stuff every week.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
They didn't come out and say, here's 4 series that you need to binge watch. I love the fact that they did not binge watch. You binge it out. You did it weekly, and you did everything. You have a set on Wednesdays. I'm going to watch the new Marvel stuff. Let you think about stuff. Let you digest it. If you got to binge She-Hulk and watched it all in one sitting, it wouldn't have gotten the heat that it got, and wouldn't have been as good at the ending when they broke the fourth wall and was like, you were expecting this, but you got this.
Right.
If you would have done it all, if you would have sat down and just watched for 4 hours and watched the whole thing, it would have been a shitty experience.
I think it avoids spoilers that way too, because like we were saying with the Netflix stuff, John and Jesse, there were times that I know, me being the Luke Cage fan and all, I didn't get to binge Luke Cage season 2. I watched it over the course of like 4 days because me and my wife were watching it, and I had people coming into my job asking me shit because I'm the Luke Cage guy, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't watched it all yet because I have a job.
He got shot. Wait, that's the first season. Sorry, never mind. But you know what I mean, like.
But like, I think with the weekly, like, as much as it's a pain in the butt sometimes, like, especially because like during the school year, my daughter watches almost all these shows with us. She didn't watch Moon Knight, and she didn't watch What If. I think that was it. Yeah, she watched everything else with us. But during the school year, like Wednesday mornings, like if we were up early in time, we watched it. But if not, then I had to wait. If I were off or if my wife was off, she had to wait until me and my daughter were both home to watch the show. But like we did our best to avoid spoilers, but still, like if you drop it all at once, it'd have been damn near impossible. It's impossible to avoid spoiler for these movies half the time.
Oh yeah. I remember which movie I saw Wakanda. I didn't get to see Wakanda Forever on opening, and like, dude, I was like just bobbing and weaving on social media.
Yeah,
man, got smacked when they showed the post credit scene, and I was
Black Adam. They showed the post credit scene 3 weeks before the movie even came out.
Well, The Rock
okay, so
too, man.
I was in New York the night of the premiere for Black Adam. I didn't know what was going on, and we were leaving. But we took a train up to Albany because we were meeting some friends and going to their place in Vermont. And they picked us up, and I'm on TikTok and on Instagram on my phone, just scrolling through different updates and stuff. And I scrolled through TikTok at the New York premiere. So like you said, 3 weeks before the movie came out for us. And I saw the post-credit scene. And I was like, seriously? Seriously?
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing. Who was it? Was it Variety? Variety that spoiled the post-credit scene of Eternals the night of? Like the night of the Hollywood premiere?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to say Ryan Styles, but that's not Harry Styles.
Yeah, Harry Styles. Yeah.
He's in it. And you're just like, thanks, guys.
Right. It was 3 weeks before we got to see it, and they spoiled it already. That's bullshit.
I know I should have cared that he was in Eternals, but I didn't. I know who his character is, and I understand. I just didn't. I don't know.
It was just the weight of the character for me. Like I'm anticipating. I'm excited to see what they potentially do with him.
Yeah.
But like, I think just the fact that they spoiled it, not even the fact that whether or not they could have been like, hey guys, Howard the Duck shows up at the end of the Eternals, and I'd have been mad about that, you know? Why'd you fucking tell us this before we get the chance to watch the movie?
Hold on, we got a question from the peanut gallery. Hold on a second. Yes?
It's not a question,
it's a statement.
I
Yes.
just looked up the post credits of Black Adam. They seriously released that early?
Yeah, they did.
They're fucking stupid.
I know.
Yep.
Okay, that's all.
I know. Yeah.
We
Thank
all
you,
agree.
Peanut Gallery.
Fuck off, John.
Yeah, go back to
Whoa!
Wow, John's getting all kinds of hate today.
I've said 5 words this whole podcast. I'm getting screamed at.
you know what? It was the Black Widow comment that got to her. It was simmering. I could tell.
I can't help it. I told the truth.
Killing me.
All right. So, anyways. Okay. So, I mean, so I just want to make sure, and people in the comment section let me know. But yeah, it seemed like you guys were okay with the amount of content hours you got from this. Because I mean, for me at least, I don't know about you guys, and I know this might be the first few episodes of some of the series. I'm not gonna lie, it felt like, oh shit, I gotta watch this. And if I don't watch this, I'm gonna be behind and all the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I know this.
Ms. Marvel did that for me. The first couple
Ms.
episodes
Marvel?
of Ms. Marvel, I did not care, and then it turned out to be probably my favorite of Phase 4.
And I think John and I talked about WandaVision when it first dropped and how people were dropping it after the first episode. And you needed to stick with the first two. Like, you had to watch those first two.
That's the reason why they released the first two, because if they would have released episode 1 and it's like the 1950s style, and then you waited another week and then you got another one that's 1960s, and you're just like, what the hell? We didn't actually get any kind of content until week 3.
Right? Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, now I'm starting to get it. But they did absolutely no jump or no real world from that. It was just all, here's the 1950s and here's the 1960s.
I think for me it was a little different because like House of M is one of my favorite Marvel comics ever. So I knew what I was getting with this series, and so did my wife, and so did my brother.
My wife too.
Oh, I did too, and again, love House of M. House of M is great.
Yeah, but like it was. I understand what you're saying too. Like, especially as a casual fan, as a movie fan, like you're watching this, you're like, why is this episode in like a 1950s sitcom, and we don't know what the hell's going on? So
I had to tell all my friends, I'm like, keep watching. Marvel knows what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, that's what I told everybody. I'm like, keep with it. And that, like you were saying with Ms. Marvel, like I understand why people would have fell out of that too, because like you guys said with like. Not to make light, but like you guys said with the twerking thing, all these shows aren't for every fan.
No, they're not.
Like there is a connecting thread. There's a through line in all of them, but you don't necessarily have to watch all of it to get it. Like, you can still appreciate the greater universe. Like, I know people that have been strictly watching the movies and not watching any of the TV shows, and they still have a general idea of what's going on. And that's the way
how did they get through Multiverse of Madness? I mean, out of all the shows, I would say that one heavily influenced the movie.
Well, I will equate this back to another Marvel or another Disney franchise here now is Star Wars. There are people out there that still haven't watched any of the animated stuff. People haven't watched Clone Wars. People haven't watched Rebels. I'm looking at John and his door that magically opens like this the third time the ghost has been there.
I've got my window open and the fan going, plus the cat comes in, so it looks like the ghost.
I think it's funny that we got a ghost in John's house.
I'm just being quiet here till you guys are done before I launch in on
all right,
what I feel about this.
John, give us the rant. Let's go. Let's do it.
I'm that bloated, fatigued fan. I love Marvel. I love this franchise, but I'm kind of done. And I watched WandaVision. I ended up really liking it. The only other show I watched was She-Hulk. I haven't watched any of the other shows. I started each one of them, and I just ended up, to Jesse's point, feeling like, okay, I have to sit down and watch this because I got to watch this so then I know what's going on here and I can talk to the person about this. But I don't like the shows. I'm just going to come out and say it. It just doesn't do it for me the way that the movies do. That's how we were talking about Star Wars animated stuff. That's how I felt about the Star Wars. What was it? The anthology, or what was it, Darth, that you made me watch that I ended up not liking?
The anime stuff. I don't remember what they're called.
Oh, yeah.
Visions.
Yeah, Visions, yeah, because it was its own shit. If they would just take anime style and just recreate already existing scenes, I would have been all over that shit. I would have fucking loved it. But because they decided to do their own thing, I didn't care at all. I was bored to death. And that's kind of how I felt about the Marvel shows. And, I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just talking about how I can't help the way I felt, but that's how I felt watching them. And so I've really disconnected. Especially from the shows. And for the movies, like, other than Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, like, I finally got around to watching Thor, which we're going to get to. Darth and I have an argument to settle, but it's just like, I'm getting to the point where I think I'm kind of done because I'm just exhausted and I'm tired, and I'm like, I did the 11-year 24 movie gauntlet with the Infinity Saga, and I was here for that. Those are all the characters that I knew, like, I was into it. Now we're getting into characters that I never either read about or cared about, and I hate to say it, but I'm still not interested. So I'm really falling out of Marvel, and I don't like it because I want to be in it, but there's nothing I can do to make myself feel differently. And I know there's a lot of people that feel that way too. See, I just want to let you guys know it's okay. You don't have to watch stuff.
To that point, like you were saying though, like, and what we were saying too is the upside to that is you could pick up. It's the same thing like Stan Lee said about a comic book. Every comic book is someone's first comic book.
Sure.
So you can literally jump into any one of these movies, like, long as it's not like a sequel. Like, I wouldn't say like shits and giggles, like I wouldn't say go into like Black Panther 3 whenever it comes out without watching the first two.
Right.
But like at any point in time, if you're like, you know what, I'm gonna try this movie out after a couple years, that's fine. And I get the fatigue because I even caught myself. I saw a bullshit list, a leak of what was coming for Phase 6 and 7. I was like, in the back of my head, I was like, they better not fucking go to Phase 7. They better not.
Right, stop the shit. Like, come on.
Like. And that's coming from me. I work at a comic shop, for Christ's sake. Like,
right.
And I'm like, no, I'm good, man. Like, I don't want, like, even if we're continuing to do the movies, I don't need this big overarching, who's going to be the major bad guy next, especially because we haven't gotten the mutants in play yet. We haven't gotten the Fantastic Four, Blade's on the way, all that shit. So it's like, we could get these movies and they could still be tied into a greater universe, but I don't need like a Thanos level threat looming in the darkness all the time.
I'm here for X-Men and Fantastic Four when that shit comes. I'm ready. I'm waiting. And I'm going to be honest, like, I think part of my fatigue with this too is that I'm still hurt. Like, my heart is hurt with what has happened to DC. And now that James Gunn is in, it's this like second chance. And I'm way more into them getting their second chance because I admittedly care about those characters and stories a lot
Okay,
more.
so we can't talk about the DC situation on this show because we got an hour.
Yeah.
And I can do a whole hour on that.
Yeah. Well,
I don't disagree with you, but when you do that one, get me back on. We'll talk.
We will. So I would rather focus a lot of my attention on the up and coming kind of second chance DC stuff because I am way more interested in that.
And that's entirely fair. I mean, honestly, when it came down to it, as much as I loved a lot of the stuff that came out this year, and Black Panther Wakanda Forever is probably in my top 3 films of the year, The Batman was probably the best superhero movie to come out this year.
Awesome. I know Darth hated it, but it was awesome.
Hated it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, now, let me ask you this. So let me wrap this topic up because I have another question I would like to lob in a second.
Ooh.
So with this being very bloated, because story wise, now I think the hard part about this phase, out of every other phase that we've had come so far, is that Phase 4, in my opinion, is also trying to do what Phase 1 did as well. Introduce to us what was at the time C-list characters. I'm not gonna lie to you. When someone said you want to go see an Iron Man movie, I'm like, yeah, let me know when Jason Todd comes out. That movie, I would love to.
The Jason Todd movie.
Like I was like,
Oh,
okay,
shit.
Iron Man's got a movie, cool, all right. And I mean, I wasn't interested. I mean, when it came to the comic book properties, I mean, yeah, some of these characters were C-list, and some of them weren't as famous mainstream. I think probably the most famous out of all the ones we saw was Hulk, and that's just because of the Bill Bixby series.
Yep.
So this show, what I felt this phase was doing was the exact same as Phase 1. Is introducing these characters that, are kind of C-list characters. You know, in 2007, if someone said we're going to make the Kate Bishop movie, they'd be like, go fuck yourself. You know, they're not going to make that movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so I think this franchise is doing this phase is doing a very hard thing. It's trying to do what Phase 1 did, but Phase 1 didn't have to follow Endgame.
Right.
Yeah. Real quick, I'm here for a Jason Todd film shot like a Lifetime movie. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm just throwing it out there right now. I'll be first in line to watch that.
It has to start with death in the family and then build up from there.
Build up, yes.
All about it.
Yeah, I think we could make that happen.
Jesse, to your point, man, I see exactly what you're saying. Because, like, real talk, when they said they were doing a live-action Guardians of the Galaxy movie, I said, "Why?"
Yeah, everybody was like, "Why are you doing this?"
and then we got it, and I was like, "Oh, that's why."
Right? Like, oh shit,
Cool.
This is one of the best movies. Okay.
I said that was going to be Marvel's first bomb. I'm not going to be that guy who acts like I was there.
So did John. I remember having that conversation with John.
Darth had to pull me aside and was like, "Dude, you need to calm down a little bit."
John was like, I don't care. I'm not going to watch it. It's going to be dumb. I don't know any of these characters. I don't know anything about them. And I was glad I proved John wrong.
And then what happened when I watched it? Who was the first person I called? Hey, Darth, this movie was fucking awesome.
Okay, so
I think to Jesse's point, I think they are doing a lot of world building and character establishing because we're setting up the next generation of Avengers teams.
Yeah.
And potentially other teams too, because I mean, they've technically set up not the Netflix Defenders, like not Luke, Jessica, Iron Fist and all that, but like the actual original comic Defenders. The only person I think we're missing now is Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
Because now we've got Namor, we've got Hulk, and we've got Doctor Strange. I think Silver Surfer's it. So like we could potentially get a Defenders movie, or this is wishful thinking from a comic book nerd. If Chris Evans would ever possibly come back for a period movie that took place between the war and him getting frozen, we could get an Invaders movie with him and Namor, and maybe like Human Torch, who was in Iron Man 1, the robot Human Torch, but they never ever talk about it again. Like we didn't notice it in the background of Stark Expo. No, Iron Man 2, rather. Iron Man 2. But yeah, we could get that movie. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I'd be down for that if they redesign Namor, but you know, that's just
well, we'll talk about that, but I want to get into this next thing because you already kind of set it up, and I really want to jump on this.
I
So
can't wait. What is it?
John and Darth, when it comes to movies, it is always, I have to say, the price of a movie ticket is worth the argument or the discussion that we do after in the parking lot. Like,
Hey, we're passionate guys, man.
I would have paid extra. I'd be like, look, these two are going to have an epic debate after the movie. Here's an extra $2 for the ticket. God bless. All right. So let's talk about a movie that I heard you two were quite divisive. So can someone explain what was the nature of the divisiveness for this?
John liked the movie.
I did
too.
But here's the thing. I recognize everything. And I told you, Darth, I even admitted, I was like, yes, I see all the problems. But just like Ragnarok, I liked it. And I think it's because I don't mind that comedy because I hated the first Thor movie so much.
Yes.
That Ragnarok. Now, look, I crazy shit, guys. Here we go. I like Dark World way better than the first Thor, but I liked Ragnarok much better than Dark World. But Ragnarok just clicked for me. I liked Korg and Mick. I liked the humor. I realized they fucked up Planet Hulk. I don't deny that.
Yep.
I like the way it was shot. I like the music. I like the lighthearted humor. And that was carried on to Love and Thunder. And I very much enjoyed it, even though I don't disagree with all of the problems. I agree. With every single problem. I agree 100%. Darth, in a conversation the other day, brought up the thruple between Thor and Mjolnir and Stormbreaker. And I'm like, yeah, it was fucking stupid. But I laughed at every joke and was like,
so bad.
I got to jump in on that point.
Yeah.
I don't like Ragnarok. Didn't like Ragnarok because it was Planet Hulk and they couldn't do Planet Hulk, so I didn't like it.
Yep, I get it.
I get that.
I get
Love
it.
and Thunder, I appreciated parts of watching as a dad with a little girl because, like, in the beginning of the movie with Gore, I was like, I'd have done that exact same shit. I might not have gone on a rampage and killed all the gods in the universe. I know that was the sword compelling him. But as far as the thruple with the hammer and the axe and Thor, and this should have been like something they let us know ahead of time. But if you watch the movie and you realize that it's Korg telling the story,
yes,
you understand all the bullshit because he's embellishing on everything.
He's
Like, if they would have had an end credit scene where they're showing Korg, wrapping up the story,
like telling a bunch of people,
the movie would have been so much better. But
I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that.
I agree with that.
Or they could have cut away and it could have been a play in Asgard, like as if it was
Matt Damon
pop back up again. Like that would have worked too.
I totally agree. Like I see both points. Honestly, I understand where Darth is coming from. I understand where John is coming from. Because it's such a tonal shift. And again, the Thor and Thor: The Dark World are probably two of the most boring movies in the entirety of the MCU.
That first Thor movie is.
But
dude, John's over here talking like he has PTSD. I love it. He's like, he started rapidly blinking. He's like,
that's what kind of worries me. And I was talking to my wife and my daughter about this too. That's what kind of worries me about Guardians 3, especially after the trailer. Like, I'm excited,
dope, though, man.
I'm excited for it, but are we getting a complete tonal shift of this movie too?
I don't think so.
This is going to be a complete and total downer, and they're all going to die.
Really? You think?
I think they're going to kill.
At least somebody is. I don't.
Rocket's gonna die. They made it pretty clear in the trailer. Rocket's gonna die.
Which makes me believe
I think you said all of them are going to die.
I'm pretty sure they're going to. I'm pretty sure they're going to kill all the Guardians.
You think they're going to kill all the Guardians?
I don't think they're going to kill Chris Pratt. He's too popular right now.
Yep, kill them all.
He's got no more Jurassic Park movies to make, man.
Thank Christmas.
Oh God, that last movie was fucking awful. Holy shit.
We can talk about those because
what a waste of BD Wong,
Pratt's
man.
got Mario now, so he's fine.
He's got Mario money.
About that either.
Yeah.
So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Transformers: Rise of the Beast talk. We're going to be switching.
Oh, don't get me started on that one. I love that
because
trailer.
David
That was a
put
great
me in
trailer.
check, I have started watching through Beast Wars again because apparently I missed some shit. So.
You're fucking welcome.
I was like, I'll just fucking rewatch it. Clearly I missed some shit. So
You got everything wrong.
So now John also had a problem with the fact that when Gore
Anthony,
died,
get that comment off. Get that comment. Oh yeah, Natalie Portman, fine, but the Dominion, get it off, Anthony. If you really like that movie, we got problems.
then we got problems, John. I enjoyed the movie.
I enjoyed it.
It wasn't even a Jurassic Park movie. It's like making Star Wars without stars. Like, what the hell, man? God. Like, Jesus, man. It was like a broke ass, like, cross between James Bond and some quest fetching.
All right, guys, here's what we're doing. I don't know if we can do this, but at some point when we do it at the Grown-Ups Table on the road, we're going to rent out small movie theaters, and we're just going to watch John watch a movie and audibly just hate it.
I'm down. I'm down.
I would sit there.
I'll bring my mini recorder. We'll put it on my show too.
Yep, absolutely. And the four of us right here, that would be so fun.
That's it.
I'm down, 100%.
I won't even talk the whole show because I don't want to miss a single word. All right.
Okay.
Hold on.
Darth had a point. Darth had a point he was trying to make, and we all went haywire on Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm used to it now. So, John, you had a problem with Gore bringing his daughter back.
I did.
You want to expand on that a little bit?
Yeah. So
That's
the
the
way
point
I
I
see it is this. Okay. Look, I have a daughter. David has a daughter. There's nothing we wouldn't do for our daughters, and we would absolutely sacrifice ourselves for our daughters. That is 100% crystal clear. There is no if and buts about that. Okay. Here's how I see this. Okay. She's dead. She died. She's dead. He's still alive. He goes to his whatever god, and his god's an asshole. And he's like, well, fuck you. Now this sword just materializes over here. Let me pick this thing up, and I'm going to jab you in the neck. And I loved all the gold blood puking out. That was really cool. So he kills this useless god. And he's like, oh, I'm just going to kill all these gods now because apparently they're all responsible for this one guy's actions. So let me just go on this and, it's all going to happen off screen. So
the off screen stuff with the gods, I agree with, but the sword was compelled. The entire point of the Necro Sword is it compels you to kill the gods because the Necro Sword wants to be the true god.
I get that. I just didn't fully buy into that. But
David, correct me on one thing. Isn't the Necrosword also connected to Venom, by the way?
Yes.
Okay.
What? What's that about?
It's a symbiote.
If you don't read the comic books, don't worry about it.
Yeah, there's a whole lot.
Oh yeah. Well, basically,
you just said there was a symbiote connection. I can put that together. It's fine. I get that. Okay. So we go through this whole movie, and we get to the end, and finally, God Butcher has a change of heart, and he's like, I'm gonna make the ultimate sacrifice. But here's my problem. His daughter is already dead. Everybody is dead. They're all gone. Like, there's no coming back, and he's about to die. So I'm thinking, why wouldn't you save Jane in front of you, who Thor clearly loves, who you can prevent her from dying, and they can go live happily ever after, and you can feel really good about your redemption, even though you did atrocious things that'll never be redeemed. But instead, you decide to bring your daughter back when you die, so you are now no longer in her life, leaving her an orphan to be raised by this hippie motherfucker over here, whose girlfriend just turned into dust. Like, to me, that's horrible parenting. I would rather save the person in front of me that still has a chance and that's dying if my kid already died, because I don't want to bring my kid back to then have me die and be raised by somebody completely different. Like, that doesn't make sense to me to bring back my kid to automatically be an orphan.
I see what you're saying, John, and I see your Gore the God Butcher, and I raised you a character that we may all know about from a completely different franchise. His name is Goku.
Yeah.
He did the same shit, but worse.
Yeah, but I mean,
I think that's what they were pulling from, man. It's that anime sensibility in 2022. Like, I understand what you're saying.
Yes, I mean, I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I don't know. I don't like comparing anime to Marvel, but I get the correlation.
Yeah, but like the fact that I think with Jane dying, like, she basically was letting Thor know it was okay, and she was letting Gore know it was okay to let go as well. So I think saving her somehow would have like belittled his story. Like it wouldn't have made, like he wouldn't have had that complete come around. Like it would.
Well,
His
also,
come.
I'm sorry to interrupt you here, but at the end of the day, and he realized that what he did was wrong. Everything was his fault. He and his daughter, his daughter's death was his fault because he was following the beliefs of his God blindly. The God will take care of us. He'll do everything. We just got to believe. We follow everything. The daughter dies. And then like almost immediately he sees the oasis and then goes to that. And the God's like, don't care about you.
Yeah, it's an accurate reflection of the gods people believe in today.
And
that's a whole other show, sir.
He kills the God. He kills all the God. Tries to kill all the gods. At the end, a God helped him out. Tried to, got him to see his own error in his own ways. He's dying. What better way to right all the wrongs in your life to bring your daughter back and make sure that she's taken care of by the guy who helped you?
And I think if you trust Thor, okay, but I don't trust some fucking guy I just met.
Yeah, but you want to save his girlfriend.
Well, yeah, because I can clearly see the
you don't trust him. She tried
you
to
don't
kill
know
you.
Natalie Portman.
You want to heal her.
I know Natalie.
No sense.
You watch your mouth. Been watching her since Leon the Professional. So
we listen. Jane. Okay, she could have been. She could have been like a serial murderer. All right, a serial killer. All right, and Gore would have saved her.
I mean, we saw Black Swan, so it's not out of the question.
So that's like saying, John, you can save your daughter, or you can save my downstairs neighbor.
Okay, but there's stipulations to this. Like, I'm laying out the specific factors. It's not just a blanket of who's who. I'm laying out the.
Gore doesn't know Jane Foster from Adam.
But moreover, why even have her in this movie if you're just going to give her cancer and send her to Valhalla? Just leave her written out of the series. Like, I don't.
One, it's a great story.
And
two,
okay.
She's a Valkyrie in the comics right now, so this is the way to bring her back.
Without okay, I can see. Okay,
I know John doesn't know that part of the story. Is she redeems herself in Valhalla and becomes a Valkyrie and.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I mean,
cool.
Would I've liked to see her spend more time as Thor? Yeah, because there's like the whole Mighty Avengers storyline that we're not going to get now because of that. But, and I mean, honestly, not to be morbid, but like with what's happening with Hemsworth now in real life, there's a chance that they change things again.
Yeah, I mean, true, very true.
There's a chance that they resurrect Jane as a Valkyrie and she's still worthy and she carries both Stormbreaker and Mjolnir.
I mean, I'd be here for that. I'll go see that movie.
Can they bring back Sif's arm also?
Yeah.
I thought the post-credit scene would have been so much better if you saw Heimdall and Jane there and have Sif's arm flopping in the background.
Just the arm.
I do like how they had Heimdall's son in there. That was pretty cool.
That was cool.
Like that.
Axel.
I did like that.
Axel. I did like that.
And look, I know it was stupid, but I love the part with the kids, man. It was like the opposite of Star Wars where Anakin butchered the kids.
That was the highlight of the movie for me because yet again, I was watching with my kid.
It was awesome. Yeah. He's just like, here you go, kids. And they just fucking went ape shit, man. I'm like, oh my God.
I liked the idea, but I thought it was dumb.
Yeah.
And the rationale behind that is Thor knew he could do that at any given point in time. Why didn't he do that with all the Wakandans and all the Avengers in Endgame?
Yeah.
And
yet again, though, this might be something that only happened from Korg's embellishment. It might not have actually happened.
But it's not in canon that it's all Korg's embellishments.
That we know of.
Look at this doubt
it's not
presenting.
canon.
I love it. I love it.
It's kind of almost like a Usual Suspects. Like, you don't know like if it did happen or was there an actual Kobayashi or what on,
And I just gotta say, I love Korg surviving in this movie.
Me too.
I love the head on the back of the head. I love that, like, at the end, he's like, "Oh, hey, my body grew back." I'm like, "Yes, Korg's back!" Like, I was so pumped about it, man. I love Korg and Mick. I'm sorry, I just do. And I was glad that they didn't permanently kill him, and I'm glad Korg's back. I don't think Korg deserves a movie, but I'd be here for like a 4 to 6 part TV show about Korg and Mick. I'm just saying, like,
I would. That'd be the first one I don't watch.
I mean, I'm here for it. I love those guys.
Well, technically, it is canon that Korg has hung out with Deadpool because of that commercial.
Yeah.
Oh man, that could be funny if he just showed up in Deadpool 3, man. I'm not gonna lie about that.
I heard with Deadpool 3, the TVA is going to be involved. So I'm very interested in seeing what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, the TVA, Owen Wilson, Hugh Jackman, which is the big one, which, by the way, what an amazingly anticlimactic way to announce that
It's just walking up the stairs.
What
Like,
an-
sure.
Yeah,
You want to be Wolverine again?
Sure, Ryan.
Sure.
yeah.
do it.
Like, I thought that was just so brilliant to do that. Now, we're running low on time, and we didn't talk about one other movie that we kind of had it point out, and it's a good movie to talk about because it's the last one. It's the closer, because we talked about WandaVision, which is the opener of Phase 4, and well, technically, the Guardians special would have been the closer, but let's stop. But this movie was very backed by popular demand. Everybody wanted to see this because this movie by far had probably the most hoops to jump through.
Yep.
I mean, number one, Chadwick. I mean, that's a hoop you had to jump through. Yeah, I mean, it had this thing had a lot to do in the little time, even though it was like 2.5 hours. Still, that's a little amount of time to do what it did, and I thought it honored everything fantastically.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, what was your guys' initial reaction to Wakanda Forever?
I liked it, but I don't think I'd ever watch it again.
Emotional for you, Darth?
No, I thought it was boring.
Really?
Yeah, there were a lot of giant plot holes and a lot of decisions that they made that I'm like, you're just idiots. I don't think Shuri could host or be the lead in her own movie. I think the character is not fleshed out well enough.
I agree on that. I
might agree on that. I'm like,
if I had a bingo card, here's who I would have wanted to become Black Panther. All right, either Mbaku or Okoye, because I thought would have been so cool if an outsider got the mantle. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like
fun with Shuri getting. I like that Shuri got it.
Yeah, I like Shuri too.
I think she will make a great addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but she's pretty much, as the end credit scene showed us, she's a placeholder. She's going to be there for a couple years, and then the new Black Panther.
Dude, she's going to be there for like 15 years so that kid fucking grows up, man. Come on, he was like 7.
It'll be in 4 years when they make Black Panther 3.
Time jumps. I don't know.
It'll be in Kang Dynasty or Secret War. It'll be a multiverse thing before that. We'll see T'Challa II as Black Panther before Shuri.
I would like to see that. I don't know. I don't know why. Like, I didn't. Maybe because the character hasn't been fleshed out. I just didn't really see her as a Black Panther character. I just didn't. I don't know. Like,
I think that they intended to show you that because it builds on her struggle, because she's dealing with her brother's death. She's in her mom's shadow. Then her mom dies. So now she's forced into this position where there's no other choice. She has to lead, and she has to do this thing, and she has to get over all of these negative emotions and feelings that have been holding her back. And she kind of has to let go of that and step up and kind of take the throne. And that's why I like T'Challa too showing up at the end, because it gives us an exit. It's okay, Shuri's going to be here for X amount of time, and then we're going back to T'Challa. So yes. I actually like that a lot. I thought that worked for the film, and that's what allowed me to care about Shuri, and it's what allowed me to want her to become the Black Panther at the end, and therefore I got a big payoff when she became Black Panther, because I was with her journey and her heartache and what she went through the whole time. So when she finally donned the suit and was kicking ass, I was like, Jesus Christ, here we go. Now it's fucking time. Yep. And I was in it. I was in it.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. We got to see the emotional journey from the get-go. I mean, first and foremost, we got the moment of silence with the Marvel flip right in the beginning for Chadwick, which
Yeah, man, I loved that.
That was
great.
good. That was good.
What I appreciate about Wakanda Forever is that Chadwick's death was a part of it, but it wasn't the central plot line of the
Totally
film.
agree. I'm glad they didn't even do a body double or nothing. It was just exposition, and we're moving on. I got a lot of people in like the blogosphere and on TikTok and shit that are like, why weren't any other Avengers at the funeral? And it's like, so you know nothing about these characters because they wouldn't be. It's a traditional Wakandan thing. They wouldn't have them there. Like you
also go back because I had this argument also, and I thought about it even more. Of the Avengers that were friends with T'Challa, who's still around?
Right.
Good point, Darth. Good point.
The only one that I think that would have
Captain America.
The only one that I think that should have been there was Bucky.
Yeah,
because he was the White Wolf. He spent a lot of time there in Wakanda. He spent a lot of time there.
But because of Falcon and Winter Soldier, and because of how they did things with Zemo, like AO looked him in the face and said, "Don't show your face in Wakanda for a while."
Right.
So
I got over it, and the way they're talking that old man Rogers is dead. Someone's mentioned that multiple times that Cap's no longer here.
They keep saying he's on the moon.
So with old man Rogers being out of the picture, there's no one else.
Yeah, because Fury wouldn't have been allowed, and like Sam didn't really have that relationship with them.
Fury is in space.
Yeah.
The only other one that I think that would have, Widow would have been there, but she's dead.
Yeah.
Clint Barton would have maybe. I don't know. He knew him for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But for most of it, no one knew him.
Right.
Except for those like 4 people. 3 of them are gone. One of them's dealing with his own shit.
Yeah, Banner probably.
Yeah, maybe Bruce because he knew Shuri.
Yeah.
Infinity War, and maybe Rhodey because if nothing else, like international diplomacy, blah 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 blah. But what I appreciated about it too, though, was as I've talked to John about this before the movie came out, I was team recast T'Challa for the longest time, but I wasn't a dick about it. It took me seeing the first trailer for me to go, I understand what your vision is. I know what you're doing. I would have liked to see it. I understand why they didn't do it. Especially now seeing the movie, I'm like, all right, cool. We can calm down now. But John, you may have seen, Jesse, you may have seen, I stitched a video on TikTok this week, actually in the last 2 days, where it was a podcast group. They were like, oh, they should have resurrected Michael B. Jordan and made him Black Panther. I'm fucking tired of that rhetoric. He's a bad guy. He was a villain. We have seen 3 distinct times what happens if he's given unlimited power.
Right.
The problem is that Michael B. Jordan is just he's just a really good actor. Because even I'm not gonna lie to you, I almost fell into that rhetoric, almost, and that's only because him and Ryan Coogler are just a genius team.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's why. So it's not even for a Marvel reason why I would want him to be in there. That's like going back to I'm just blanking on his name. Winston Duke. The reason why I wanted him to be Black Panther is because he is also Batman in one of my favorite podcasts.
I love that podcast.
I know, right? We don't have time.
His people do not call him general or king. They call him Kukul Khan, the second god.
And he's walking in badass with a carrot.
That and the fucking... I have to speak on this. I need you 3 to understand. Don't use this insult against anybody, but Bald-Headed Demon was some of the best shit I've ever heard in any kind of movie at all. And it's completely improv. It was not in the script. He just went off the cuff when he was talking to Denai, and that shit just worked so fucking well.
Duke is a good actor. He's a really good actor. That's why, like, I know story-wise it would not make sense for him to become Black Panther, but that's why I want it, because I'm just like...
Yeah, I mean... His place in the hierarchy now works for me.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. I got so happy. I literally stood up at the end of the movie. I'm like, no one challenge him.
Right.
I think Ramonda's death for me was a little hard to swallow.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that's a lot. You're doing a lot right now. But
Yeah.
then
I
once
didn't
we
see
get,
that
like you said, John, with the final battle and everything, I think it pushed Shuri into where she needed to be.
Yep, it did. It did.
Between like seeing her brother, and as much as I loved Queen Ramonda, like watching the show and watching the movie and talking to my daughter about it, I would have done the same thing to get my kid back. I would have done absolutely everything she did. But the war with Wakanda was because Ramonda didn't wait 10 minutes.
Right.
Yeah. Now,
So,
real quickly, because her death was very impactful. I'm not sure if anybody felt like this. Did anybody just not give a fuck about Namor in this movie?
I liked him.
I've been waiting the
not
whole
like that.
episode.
Not like that. No, not like that. I mean, he's a good villain. He was a great villain, but like, I hated him because he pretty much 9/11 Wakanda. And I got angry.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was fuck Namor energy the entire movie. Yeah, absolutely.
That same energy you have for the Kingpin in Daredevil season 3, where you just want that fucker to go down. You know what I mean? Like, oh, dude, I couldn't stand him. I was like, please, could somebody kill this guy?
For a split second, when she was in Talokan with him, and they were talking, and he was telling, delivering his backstory and everything, I was like, I could see
John's gonna explode. Look at John. He's gonna explode.
John's gonna die. Wait, let David finish, and then John will let you go. David,
I could see why, like, he feels the way he felt and everything. Like, I empathize with him a bit, but then, like, to be blunt, over one guard that was watching Shuri getting killed, like, he's like, I'm drowning a whole fucking country. I was like, all right, fuck this dude.
Yes, he just not. I mean, look, I understand you want. I understand you want to keep your nation from being discovered. I get that. I understand that. Protection is a very important thing. But I felt like he did like this giant overstep, and he killed a bunch of innocent people in Wakanda. For what?
Because he didn't give a fuck, man. That's why.
I hate that motherfucker.
And I mean, that's Namor in a nutshell too, though.
I know.
I was gonna say, I'm sure Darth understands this too. Like, that's Namor.
Oh, I love Namor. I think I'm a huge Fantastic Four fan, so I love Namor. And I thought the portrayal of Namor, making him more Aztec than anything else, I thought was great.
Great.
But I have a couple real big issues with the movie, but I want to see John explode. I want to see that.
Let it out, buddy.
John, do your thing, and then I'll tell you what I did not like about this movie. But John, go for it.
I like Namor. I have no problem with Namor. I'm one of the few people that still actively use him in Marvel Strike Force because I fucking love him. I was fine with the way he was portrayed. Yeah, there were a couple things where I'm like, And I mean, I'll be honest, the little ankle wings kind of didn't do it for me in a motion picture setting the way that it does in like a comic setting, but I let that go. I get it. My problem is you made him look like an Aztec warrior, and I fucking hated it. Like, look, a long time ago, I learned to just roll with the punches on costume designs. I really did. And Darth can even attest to this all the way back to 2006 when Superman Returns first revealed the costume. I was really pissed off. And I talked about it, and ever since 2006, I have changed my tone about suits and things because I understand shit is interpreted. It's got to get updated. It has to look a certain way for a tone and feel of the film, blah, 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 blah. Fine. I get that. That's not fucking Namor, man. It's really not. I could not stand all the fucking piercings. I couldn't stand the regalia of jewelry. I couldn't stand the fucking curly short hair and the goatee. Like, this is not how Namor looks. And look, again, if you want to tweak the suit, fine. You want to tweak the look a little bit, fine. But we need the short, squared widow's peak hair with a clean shaven face and the trunks. If you want to add a little bit to that because it's a movie, fine. But this guy looked like some dude like down the street that would fix my car. And I'm like, that's not fucking Namor, man. And it really bothered. It made me not enjoy him on screen that much. And that's what bothered me the most out of this whole movie. Outside of that, I really enjoyed the movie. I fucking hated the design of Namor. Didn't hate the character. I hated the design of him with a passion. And rant.
I had no problem with it. I thought it added more.
We talked about it.
I
more.
I'm with this guy.
Make them from a lost civilization than just
fucking hated that shit.
Those guys.
If they had made him, and I understand you're not saying this, John, but if they had made him cookie cutter Atlantean, everything that would have happened would have been like, hey, Marvel just copied off of GC and they did Aquaman already, and Marvel just did Aquaman movie. So they had to make it different. And so to give us the Talocan and to give us the Aztec side of it and actually ground it in historical legend, like that works for me because it made fucking sense. Like it just like I like the idea of it. He was still a badass, like you said yourself. Like it didn't take away from the character.
No,
I loved the shot of the throne when he was about to wage war.
That was cool.
Again, I hate him for waging war, but when he's floating down and he's got the headdress on and he just ducks his head and does the little fucking Hadouken hand sign, that shit was dope. I loved it. I fucking loved it because it's different and it shows a side of an underwater civilization that we've never seen. Because to be blunt, every underwater civilization I've ever seen in my 38 years of being a black dude have not even looked remotely close to me at all. So to get Namor and Talocan and them be melanated ethnic people, I was like, all right, I'm here for it.
Yeah, I just didn't appreciate the Mr. T chains and all the fucking.
Again, I'm not saying you're saying anything. I understand you're not liking the adornments and everything. I'm just saying I was feeling it.
Yeah, I was feeling it. And I'm not cutting down anybody. I'm just saying it really bothered me.
But to me, like the problem with Namor in the comics is the inherent issue. Again, is that Marvel and DC going back and forth with each other. Yeah, and like. Namor in the comics is basically fucking Ocean Master from DC. Like, look what.
Yeah.
And yes, Ocean Master in the movie was blonde hair, blue eyes because they made Aquaman have the darker hair and blah, 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 blah. But like, they're basically the same character design because they've been biting off each other for a century now.
Sure. Yeah.
So to get something different that wasn't going to be like copy paste, even with like the adornments and everything, like, I mean, at least he ain't fighting it the whole time. He could have wore the headdress the entire time he was fighting. He didn't.
Yeah, thank you. I do agree. I'm glad he didn't wear that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But, we basically, Michael wanted the iconic Speedos with his bulge.
I would have been fine for some Namor bulge.
Got his bulge away.
They made the CGI guys work 10 times harder. They called the guy from Ukraine that was working on CGI. Like, we gotta make this Wakanda movie.
You gotta smooth it down. It's too bulgy. You gotta smooth it down.
I don't care that there's mortars going off.
But I mean, going back to the whole George Costanza thing, they're in the water the whole time. There shouldn't really be a bulge. He should be shriveled the whole time. So, I mean, I'm just saying they live in the water. It's it's gonna be turtle. So.
So I want
he's a god among men. He's above our small penis.
Scared turtle, bro. He's in the water the whole time.
So I want to say something here about what I didn't like about this movie here real quick. So you have this villain and these bad guys that swim, that they find out that Namor needs water to be as big and powerful as he is. It's like, hey, I've got an idea. Let's all get in a boat. Go to the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, that bothered me.
Fight everybody.
Yeah, that bothered
me. Cool. How are we going to dry out Namor? Oh, we'll put him in a jet and fly him away while all of our people die by his hands because we can't swim like they can, and they can breathe underwater and we can't. Yeah. Cool. I love that idea. All right, let's get him to let's do it. Dumbest idea ever.
On this like giant barge just like floating through the ocean.
I will absolutely agree with you on that point. I think the logic behind it was to avoid any more collateral damage in Wakanda, but like they could have moved the battle to the island from the jump. He would have followed them there.
Right.
He absolutely would have followed them to that island.
he didn't care about destroying Wakanda. He destroyed about killing Wakandans.
Yeah, he wanted to take.
So
he wanted
you
Shuri
move all the
and Baku and
Wakandans
Okoye.
to a desert area. He'll go to them.
Yeah,
He's that cocky. He will go and fight them wherever they want.
And I think he would have been more prepared in the desert. That's the thing. I think he would have been like, okay, I'm going to get dried out.
it was a false sense of security fighting them in the middle of the water, and I mean, ultimately, it did not work at all. Come to think of it,
really, a lot of people died.
A lot of people died. Right. A lot of people died.
But I mean, I understand. I see from a tactician standpoint, making them think they had the home field advantage. I understand, except for they literally gave them home field advantage. So I think that kind of hurt
them home field advantage by fighting on the beach.
But it also shows them. It
Yeah,
also
there you
shows too. It also shows, in my opinion, Shuri was acting on sheer emotion.
Yes.
Like she wasn't thinking logically. She wasn't.
Yeah, it was
like,
inexperience.
It was all about, hey, I got my powers. I'm gonna go fuck this guy up because he killed my mother.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care where we fight him. Get him out there. I'll dry him out. We're gonna make him think he's like. I think the tactical, smart, engineering scientist Shuri, had she not been acting on sheer emotion, would have been like, we can't do that. That's gonna be stupid. Let's build a box to put him in and just bring him to the island, but let's not fight him and his people out in the water where they're the strongest.
Right.
Yeah.
But because she was acting out of sheer anger, I think that's what we got. Now, again, I absolutely, and no shade to anybody that didn't like it, no shade to anybody that would rate it lower, but I'm saying the only reason this isn't getting higher than like an 8.5 for me was it was obvious they had to work around Chadwick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
sure.
Also loved the Fast and Furious 7 ending they did. If anyone's watched the Fast and Furious movie,
I didn't watch. I can't watch that one because Paul Walker stuff.
7.
Oh my god! Yeah. Okay. Sorry, that took me 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Jesse now gets it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It took me 2 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it, and I was like, I'm not crying. There's dust in the theater.
Yeah, you know what? Like real talk.
I cried twice during Wakanda, man.
I was good. I was mostly. I kind of teared up with that opening page turn.
Oh, I did. I straight did.
And then I was good even when they killed off T'Challa. That I was like, oh man, that's fucked up. But then looking over at my daughter, who was sitting right next to me, and my mother, who has not been to a movie in 30 years, was sitting next to me. And when Ramonda died, my daughter was just like streaming with tears, and my mom was teared up, and I was like, well, there it is. Faucet's open.
Yeah.
I couldn't hold it in.
When Shuri was over the casket in the beginning, that's what got me. I was like, oh, here we go. But I know we're like out of time, but I want to see you brought up engineering. I really hated the Ironheart suit. I'm sorry. I was pumped to see her in the movie, and then I hated the suit. I'm just saying.
I'm glad we're getting multiple versions in the series. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I hope it gets better because I was just like,
well,
really?
She couldn't take that one with her.
Like,
she had to leave that suit.
I hope we see her in Armor Wars also.
Oh, I bet we do. There's no way we don't.
Hopefully, it'll look better. That's all.
By default, I'm more interested in seeing her design a suit without Wakanda equipment.
Yeah.
I want to see because I want to see her character, test the metal of herself. You know what I mean? Like,
I did like the line when they raided her garage, though. Oh shit, she got on an Iron Man suit.
That is a really good line. Now that was really funny. Yeah.
Yes. Actually, you know what though? Riri was one of the best additions to this movie.
Oh yeah.
I appreciated her character a lot. I can't wait to see more of her. Even just from a standpoint of not her being Ironheart, but Riri Williams was just dope. Like I love the way she reacted to Shuri when she realized it was her. I love the way the banter between her and Okoye was dope.
Yeah.
And then when they got taken and she was in Talokan and she's like, hey, we need to get the hell up out of here. What you mean? What you mean you talking to him? We got to go. We can't stay. He wants to kill me. We have to leave. I was like, okay, yeah, I like her.
Yep. No. Well, we're looking forward to seeing more of her. But anyways, we are in overtime. I want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in today. Michael, Anthony. I think those are the two that comment. I know we had many others watching, so thank you so much for joining. Aziel Rivera. I hope I said your first name right. If I didn't, you can shade me all you want on my Facebook. He's always on my
tag me if you shade him, please.
Please state them. I do deserve it. I always do deserve it. Anyways, thank you guys, everybody, for tuning into the show today. You guys rock. I want to thank Darth and David for joining us. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure to have you guys on. And as always, we will have them back on because they always give us so much to think about from a comic book standpoint that I learned a lot today. I don't know about you guys. I learned a lot. Anyways, tune in next week for more content, more information. This episode will be on YouTube tomorrow. If you're just catching it now, you didn't see the whole episode, but it'll also be on Roku TV this coming Monday. So tune in and enjoy. And
Jesse, we're starting Christmas theme next week. So we've got family horror or family Christmas, horror Christmas, and we're gonna have a special guest to be announced for horror Christmas.
Ooh, I'm all for this. I'm very excited for this. So there you have it. So make sure you tune in for that, and we'll see you then. But until next time, I'm Jesse.
I'm John.
And you've been sitting at the Grown-Ups Table. Thank you, and have an awesome night, everybody. Take care.